Hi, welcome to Grandad on in Enfield. Just a couple of things I want to talk about today. First of all, I know there's a lot of AI stuff on YouTube. I was watching a video on bikes that last 500,000 kilometers or 500,000 miles, and I don't know if anyone remember, it's a bit like the Only Fools and Horses episode where Tigger got his award for saving the council money. He had the same brush for the last 20 years. It just had 14 new heads and 17 new handles. But this video was kind of the same. Fellas were doing, some fella done 500,000 on a bike. I had 4 engine replacements, and it had the frame welded up. So I don't think, to be honest, I don't think that's really 500,000 miles on a bike. Not with engine replacements anyhow. But each to their own, I suppose, as long as you don't take these things too seriously. And because every second bike you see on it is either a pile of crap or it's the best bike ever. So yeah, just the best way to research any bike is, I know it is the internet, and probably YouTube is a handy tool for that, but any of these AI generated things, no, don't bother with them. They're just robots making money. That's basically it. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about was I was out last Sunday with the family, and we came across I don't know, was it organised or what, but it was a big car meeting below from where I live, in a place called Little Island in the industrial park there. And the amount of cars that were there were unreal. I wouldn't even hazard a guess, but definitely well over 100 cars anyhow. Now, as I keep saying to my family, the bikes are dying, so how come these are having... I mean, the crowds there were unreal, and it wasn't just a load of young fellas. There was families there. There was young ladies. I couldn't even film it because there were so many kids and stuff around that I didn't want a chance filming it, but we could only dream of numbers like that were there on any of the bike meetings. We just don't get it, like. And I was looking back on we actually got our first family car in 1993, and it was an old Toyota Corolla. The engine was fantastic in it. No, it never left us down or anything. But as you can imagine, in all the 80s Toyota, you couldn't slam the doors because another bit of body would fall off. At that time we had no annual check either on cars. We do now, but at that time there was none. So I was just saying that these young fellas and young ladies spend just every kind of penny they have on their cars, and there's no distinction between whether it's no, I wouldn't say the latest Ferrari, but you know, there was no distinction in make, class, year, anything like that. It was just car enthusiasts, no exclusions. Like, especially Ireland, for the most part of it, the UK, we have much the same weather. fine day today, but just earlier this morning it was hammering down with rain. All day yesterday it was hammering down. Yeah, we don't get the riding season as long as what we'd like. Nobody commutes on a motorbike anymore hardly. I say I done my time on it. I commuted for years on a motorbike, clocking up huge mileage doing it, walking from 8 in the morning till 8 in the evening. And well, what used to get me with that is I'll be going into work when it's dark, and I'll be coming home when it's dark in the winter. So yeah, I worked in a factory, so you wouldn't see the sunlight. But anyhow, back to this car meet. Like I say, I couldn't film it because there was just so many youngsters there. I'm just not the legal age to drive or anything younger than that. And it was great to see the enthusiasm they had and the pride they had in their cars. I just wish the same would happen to the bike community, but to be honest with you, I think it's a dying breed. I mean, they're not cheap anymore. I mean, the insurance is cheap. Well, for me anyhow, but my insurance is €260, I think. Whereas it's €470 on my Mini. Well, it's not my Mini, it's my wife's Mini, but she has a car in her name, so we had to insure it and buy it and insure it in my name. But tax on a motorcycle, I can't remember what it is below this. I can't remember the cutoff point is around 300 cc's. But the tax on all motorcycles this size and over, the 650 and over, and my 500 is the same, is €88 a year. And the tax on the Mini, which is a 1.6 diesel, is €190 a year. Of course, the big difference is we have the Clubman Mini with the barn doors on the back, so although it's a bit of a squeeze, it is actually a 5-seater. More realistically, it's a 4-seater, but if you was, look, there is 5 seat belts in the car, so there is legally 5 seats. It wouldn't be comfortable 5 seats, but it would be four seats. There's plenty of room for 4 people. I could only carry 1 person on the bike besides myself, so. And then of course you're not stuck out in all weathers. But anyhow, I'm just kind of a bit envious of the turnout they had there. You know, I think the crate. I even look at the price of classic bikes now. That I know not what the likes of Bruff's here, but Rog. A couple of years ago, a Rog was 15 to 18,000. I've seen them advertised now for 10, because nobody can kick them anymore. Not the younger crowd don't remember them bikes. So yeah, I just wish there was some way of transferring the love they have for the cars into love for motorbikes. Anyhow, on to today's. I said we're coming up to Halloween, so we'll do a bit of a spooky series of haunted places around Cork, where I live. So I've done videos before coming up to the loch, but I just wanted to do this one to show where this place is, because it's in St Finbarr's West Church. There's another St Finbarr's in town, but this is on the south side of the city. It's the loch. If you look at old pictures of Cork, you'll definitely come across one with where the loch is frozen over and they're skating on it. So we'll just for direction's sake, I'll just turn around here and get a quick look at the lock, and we'll move on. So this is the lock by it's the kind of main area. There's a pub to the left of me now with a Chinese restaurant upstairs on it. So you head towards the city centre from here. And just only a small spin up the road to the church. And I'll tell you why when we get there, why the church is of any importance. But I'll just show you the road up to it. This is the Greenmount area, really. Toker, Ballyvahan, the Loch, south side of the city. So that pink building there used to be a pet shop. And the Loch there is off to my left. So just remember that if you're looking for this place. Head towards the pub on the top, which is I'll put the name in there somewhere. And keep the Loch on your left. Head towards Cork city centre. And you can just see the church coming into view there now. Like I say, it's St Finbarr's West Church. So we'll have there is parking in there. I think it's limited, but there is parking. So we'll have a look around here and I'll explain why we're here. Now if you can see to my right hand side, it's a bit overgrown. But in there, sorry, I just have to open my helmet because it's warm. In there is a green area. It's called the Gallows Greens, or the Gallows Green, and as the name suggests, it was used in the 18th and early 19th century as an execution spot. But criminals were hung, and just adjacent to the church there. Now, it's supposed to be haunted, as I say, the lost souls. But what makes it interesting is that in 1990 the place was excavated. This house is now standing on the edge of the greens. It was excavated in the 1990s, and there was 15 skeletons found. But none of the skeletons were complete. All the bones were broken, and all the long bones were buried in one area, and then up from another bit from it, the skulls were buried. I say it was unusual because all the bones had suffered breaks in them. So whatever they done, and as tortured souls then are supposed to be haunting the grounds around it. But hey, there's the church as well. Nice old red brick church. So the bar actually on the lock is the Hawthorne Bar. That's just remembered it. So, like I say, nice start of the spooky season. We'll do a couple more of these coming up to Halloween. Okay, that's it. Thanks. Be safe. Get home and ride your own ride. Grandad on an Enfield.